are not meant to stay here, Adobe. You are breaking the covenant. It's time for you to come back to us. It's time for you to fulfill your covenant. Come back to us, Adobe. This world is not for us. Please, not yet. My mother has suffered enough. I cannot leave her now. Please, I know I made a oath and I must fulfill it. Just give me more time, Adobe replied.
In the small bustling village of Amici, a young girl named Adaobi was known for her radiant beauty, kindness, and unshakable aura of mystery. From the day she was born, whispers of something unusual surrounded her. Some said she was different, others said they saw shadows flicking by her side, though nothing was ever there. But only Adaobi knew the truth. She was an OGBANJE, a spirit child tied to the world of the living, destined to come and go many times. Life to them was a cycle, a brief journey. Her mother, Nneka, had suffered the loss of many children before Adaobi. She had wailed in agony as they each came into the world, only to leave after a few short years. Adaobi, though, was different. She had lasted longer than any of them. As Nneka watched her grow from a baby to a vibrant young woman, she dared to hope that maybe, just maybe, this time her child would stay. But Adaobi knew her time was borrowed. She saw unseen forces that no one else could see or perceive in the village. When she was a child, her mother often found her sitting under the old Iroko tree, talking and laughing as though surrounded by friends. "Who are you speaking with?" Nneka would ask, worried. Adaobi would smile, her eyes twinkling with a secret she never shared. "They're just my friend, Mama. They came to play with me. Who are your friends and who are they?" Nneka would see nothing but her. Yet to Adaobi, her companion were always there, her fellow OGBANJE spirits. People who, like her, had come into the world briefly, only to return to the realm they truly belonged to. They would sit with her, whispering stories of the other side, laughing at the foolishness of the living, reminding her time to time that the world was not meant for her. And anytime she eats, it wasn't just for her. She will eat food with the OGBANJE spirits. They will all join her. If anyone dared to look closely, they will notice that the food particles were spread everywhere, as though a crowd had feasted, but no one could see them except her. As Adaobi grew, so did her bond with the unseen. There were nights when she would sit alone in her room, talking softly, her voice carrying in whispers, discussing things her mother could never understand. Sometimes, when she was deeply engrossed in this conversation, the hair around her will grow thick and strange, as though reality itself bent and twisted around the unseen forces. But as the years went by, her friends became more insistent. She had reached her 25 years, a pivotal age for the OGBANJEs. "It is time," they will say. "You must come back. The world of the living is not for us." Their voices grew louder, their visits more frequent. Sometimes they would come in groups, sitting in her room, gathering around her bed and speaking in hushed tones. "You know the rules, Adaobi. You are not meant to stay. You are breaking this covenant. When are you leaving?" Adaobi's heart will race. She did not want to go. She don't want to leave her mother alone in this world, especially as she was Nneka's only surviving child. "Please, not yet," she will beg. "My mother has suffered enough. I cannot leave her now." But the spirits were relentless. They are cold, tugging her toe. "Your time is over," they will say. Their voices calm but unyielding. "You made an oath, and it must be fulfilled, remember." The pressure of their demands weighed heavily on Adaobi. As the date of her departure neared, strange things began to happen. Suitors from the village came, men from distant land who had heard of Adaobi's beauty and grace. They will arrive with baskets of wine, kola nut, and palm oil, seeking for her hand in marriage. Yet, without fail, whenever a suitor came, Adaobi would vanish. One day, a young man named Chidi, tall and handsome, arrived at the village, determined to marry her. His heart has been set on Adaobi from the moment he saw her at the village festival. He brought with him the finest gifts, accompanied by his kinsmen. As they knocked on the door, ready to present their offering, Adaobi disappeared. Her mother, confused and frantic, searched the whole house and the entire village, but there was no trace of Adaobi. It was as if the ground had swallowed her. This wasn't the first time. Suitors before Chidi had experienced the same strange fate. They would arrive bearing gifts and Adaobi will simply vanish into thin air. Days pass. She will reappear as if nothing had happened. Her eyes filled with sorrow, but her lips sealed with secret. The Obanje spirit will remind her, "You made a promise. You are not here for marriage. Marriage is not for you. You must return. This world does not belong to us." Each time she vanished, the pull of the other side grew stronger. Her eyes, the unseen one, would gather around her, laughing and playing, but always reminding her that her place was not among with the living. "You must leave this world. You are only here for a short time," they will say, their eyes glittering with otherworldly wisdom. But Adaobi fought. She clung desperately to her life, to her mother, to the love she has found in the world of the living. She will plead with the spirit, "Just a little longer, please. My mother's heart will break if I leave now." The spirit, with sting, will sometimes soften, giving her just a little more time, but they are never relented entirely.
Good day, my wonderful viewers. How you are doing? Have you subscribed yet into my channel? Please subscribe into this channel for more interesting videos as I take you down to the story of Adaobi. Did she survive? Did she die? Guess what? Shall find out. Please hit on that subscription button. Hit on that notification button to always get notified whenever I post. Thank you. Keep watching.
Nneka had been growing more and more uneasy as the days passed. Her daughter Adaobi had always been special, but lately her behavior was becoming deeply disturbing. Adaobi would sit alone in her room for hours, speaking to voices only she could hear. There were times when Nneka, in a desperate attempt to understand, would press her ear against the wooden door, and though she could clearly hear their conversation, only laughter and whispers. No one was inside but Adaobi. One evening, after hearing voices yet again, Nneka decided enough was enough. She quietly crept into Adaobi's room and peeped through the crack in the door. What she saw struck her to the core. Adaobi was sitting cross-legged on the floor, surrounded by nothing but shadows. Her hand moved in gestures as though she was serving food to invisible guests, and her eyes glistened as she spoke to them. But there was no one there. No one that she, Nneka, could see. Nneka backed away, her heart pounding. She clenched, recalling the pain of her lost children, each one taken from her too often, leaving her with nothing but sorrow. But Adaobi had survived, or so she thought. Or will she let this one slip away too? This one must surely stay, she whispered to herself. I will not lose her. Determined to save her daughter, Nneka left the house the next day and set off on a journey. She walked for miles through the forest, past rivers and hills, until she reached the home of Agbara, a powerful woman known for her deep connection to the spiritual realm. Agbara was feared and respected in equal measures, for she had the knowledge of the old ways and could see beyond the veil that separated the living from the spirit world. When Nneka arrived, she wasted no time. With trembling hand, she explained her daughter's strange behavior, her vanishing act, and the voices she heard in Adaobi's room. Agbara listened in silence, her expression unreadable until Nneka finished. Finally, Agbara spoke. Your daughter Adaobi is an OGBANJE. She is not of this world, not fully. She had come and gone many times, and now her fellow spirits from the other world are calling her back. They are pulling her towards them, and it's only the love that she had for you that is still keeping her here. But that love, Nneka, is fragile. The pull of the spirit world is strong. Nneka heart sank. Is there nothing I can do? She pleaded. I cannot lose her, Agbara. She's my only child. I've suffered enough. Agbara's eyes narrowed as she considered Nneka plea. Adaobi is a gifted child. Yes, but she's bound to the spirit world by a covenant. That bond must be broken if she's to remain here. There is a way, but it will not be easy. A sacrifice must be made to sever our connection to the other world, and we must find our Iyuwa. Iyuwa? Neka echoed, unfamiliar with the word. The Iyuwa is a physical object that ties her spirit to the world of the Obanjes. She buried it when she came into this world, and it must be dug up and destroyed to free her from their grasp. But Adaobi will resist. Her spirit will fight to remain bound to the covenant. Without wasting any more time, Agbara stood and prepared to follow Nneka back to the village. Together they made their way to Nneka's home. As they stepped inside the house, Adaobi looked up from where she sat. Her eyes widened the moment she saw Agbara, and fear flickered around her face. She knew. Adaobi hands trembled as she made as if to rise, but Agbara's voice rang out, commanding and strong. Stay where you are. Agbara's silence filled the room. Her horror, heavy and undeniable. Show me your Iyuwa, Adaobi, she said, her voice cold and firm. Where is your Iyuwa? Adaobi's eyes darkened, her once kind face twisting into something almost unrecognizable. I will not show you, she shouted, her voice suddenly echoing with a strange quality. Show me your Hiuwa, Agbara demanded again, her eyes locked on Adaobi. Where have you buried it? Adaobi clenched her fist, her chest rising and falling with each heavy breath. I will not, she screamed again, her voice filled with a strange power. Agbara stepped closer. Show me who you are, she commanded. Tell me your true self. Adaobi's voice trembled, and her voice came out in a low glow. I am an Ogbanje, she spat, her voice not entirely her own anymore. I don't belong to this world. At the moment, Agbara turned to Nneka and instructed, give me a knife. Nneka handed her a knife. Agbara dug into the ground beneath where Adaobi sat, her movement deliberate and powerful. She cut through the head as though it had no resistance, as though it was waiting to reveal its secret. Adaobi screamed, her voice filled with both rage and fear, but Agbara did not stop. Finally, after what felt like hours, Agbara's hand closed around something buried deep into the soil. She pulled out a small ornate mirror, shimmering even in the dim light of the room. Alongside the mirror was a small cup, carved with symbols that glowed faintly. Agbara raised both objects into the light, her face set in grim determination. This is your Iyuwa, Agbara said, her voice filled with finality. Adaobi, her eyes wide with terror. With this, I sever your bond to the spirit world, Agbara declared, smashing the mirror against the ground. The mirror shattered across the floor, and Adaobi let out an ear-piercing wail, as if something deep inside her has been torn away. For a moment, the room was silent. Adaobi collapsed, trembling, her eyes fluttering shut. Nneka rushed to her side, holding her daughter, her tears streaming down her face. Agbara stood tall. Her task isn't complete. After the bond with the spirit world had been broken, Agbara stood over Adaobi's trembling form, her eyes sharp with knowledge of what was to come. Nneka cradled her daughter, relieved that Adaobi has been freed from the crushes of the Ogbanje spirit. But as Agbara looked at the mirror and the cup laying shattered beside Adaobi, her expression grew thoughtful. You must understand, Nneka, she said, her voice calm but filled with weight. Your daughter will live, but there is a condition attached to her survivor. She had not simply been released. She has been called. Called? What do you mean? Nneka asked. Agbara nurtured towards the broken mirror and cup. The mirror I dug from the ground represents prophecy. Adaobi has been chosen to be a prophetess. She will see visions. She will know things others cannot. The spirit has marked her as their mouthpiece to this world. A prophetess? Nneka asked. Agbara nodded. Yes, but it's not only prophecy that is her gift. The cup she buried alongside with the mirror represents healing. Adaobi will be a healer as well. Water in particular will be her conduit. Whosoever drink from the cup she blesses will be healed, no matter their ailment. This is the condition for her life. She must fulfill this destiny as a prophetess and healer. It is that this is the only way for her to remain in this world. Neka stared at her daughter, still unconscious in her arms, processing what Abara has just said. It was both a blessing and a burden. She would leave. Neka asked again, just to be sure. Abara smiled faintly. Yes, she will leave, but only if she walks the path set before her. She had been spared from the fate of the Obanje, but she is now bound to a new purpose. She will heal the sick. She will deliver the message of the Spirit to the people. Hours later, when Adaobi finally woke up, she was different. Her once gleaming eyes now carried an air of wisdom, as if she had glimpsed truth far beyond what the ordinary could offer. The vision began almost immediately. Adaobi would dream prophetic dreams. Upon waking, she will know things before they happen. Word spread quickly across the village that Adaobi has been chosen by the spirit as a prophetess. Soon after, Adaobi began healing. At first, it was a substitute. Someone in the village will fall ill, and Adaobi will simply give them a cup of water to drink, whispering a quiet prayer. Within days, they will recover, no matter how severe their sickness has been. The people were astonished. Her touch, her words, and most of all, the water from her cup carried a power that no one could explain. As time passed, Adaobi fame grew. People traveled from distant village to seek her counsel and her healing. The blind regained their sight, the lame walk, and even those believed to be close to death found new life after drinking from her blessed cup. The mirror had indeed marked her as a prophetess, for her visions were never wrong. She foretold birth, death, and even the outcome of the village most important matters. Despite the pressure and responsibility, Adaobi embraced her destiny. She found peace in knowing that her life had a purpose, and the love she had for her mother and the village drove her to use her gifts for good. Her connection to the other world was now a source of power, not torment, and her visions, once feared, were now seen as blessings. Eventually, a suitor who had been persistent in his love for Adaobi came to ask for her hand in marriage. Unlike before, when she would mysteriously vanish, this time around she remained. She accepted his proposal, knowing that her path was now set and that her gift would remain with her even in marriage. Together, they built a home, and Adaobi continued her healing work. Her reputation as a healer and the prophetess spread far and wide, and the people from across the land came to seek for her help. As her fame grew, so did her wealth. Though Adaobi never cared much for riches, her focus remained on her mission to heal and to deliver the spirit message. In the end, Adaobi lived a long and prosperous life. But more importantly, she lived a life filled with purpose. The spirit that once sought to take her away has given her the greatest gift of all, a reason to stay and the ability to touch the lives of countless people. And so, the girl who had once been an Obanje, caused to come and go from the world, has broken free from her fate, and in so doing, she had become a beacon of hope and healing for all who knew her. The end. Thank you for watching, my wonderful subscribers and non-subscribers. What do you think about the story? Is there anything you learned from this story? Do you have anything to add to this story? Do you have any question to ask about the story? Please drop them all at the comment section. Thank you and God bless you. And don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification button to also get you notified whenever I post videos. Most importantly, I want to see your comment. Comment at the comment section, please. Thank you and God bless you. See you on my next video. Bye.